Welcome back. This is Michael at Grow Your Own Fun. Today we're starting a new project. It's a 90cc. It's the upgraded race model. It's got all the goodies on it. Let me show it to you. All right, so this is our new project. This is the Can-Am DS90X, the cross-country edition. It's got upgraded shocks, upgraded swing arms, A-arms. It's got better suspension, better brakes. It's got disc brakes front and rear, braided brake lines. It's got better handlebars on it. Like I said, upgraded disc brakes on the front and rear, master cylinders on both handlebars, upgraded rear shock. It's got the Nerf bars on it with the integrated into the fender for extra protection. It's got the heel guards built in, nice big meaty foot pegs on there. But all that's the good stuff, including these pretty much brand new Kendra Claw Max tires. They haven't seen much use, so they're pretty awesome. So that's the good stuff. The bad stuff is the electrical system's a little messed up. I quickly put my tester on it that I made, bypass the electrical to make sure the stator worked and that the coil worked and some other stuff like that. All that stuff worked. So something in the electrical system is killing the spark when you try to turn it over. It'll turn over and everything from here, but you just don't get any spark. So one of the kill switches is not working like it should, or we're not engaging it, one of the two. But it was sold not working. The guy had started taking it apart. I worked on it real briefly when I first got it and found that the starter gear back in there was stripped out, and so I replaced that gear for the starter clutch or starter gear that connected to the starter, and got it to where it'll turn over and everything. And then once I got that far, I tested spark, saw that I had spark, and now I'm diagnosing what's wrong with the electrical. I did notice today, though, when I went to go check on things and roll it out here to look at it, is that the gas tank has some rust in it. I thought I had drained out the gas or something, but it had been sitting for at least the last year over there, pretty much right there. But the tank's got some rust in it. The gas is all nasty. I hooked a bottle up to it, started draining the gas out. But we're gonna get it all running, and I think I'm gonna have to take all the front plastics off and take the gas tank out, take care of that issue, probably coat it with some tank sealer and get all the rust issues taken care of. Either that or buy a brand new tank. I'll look up what a new tank costs, and I'm gonna look up what new plastics cost since this is cracked. Otherwise, I'll just stitch that together with zip ties, some black zip ties on that. The only problem is this piece is actually missing, but everything else will line up. You'll only really see that one piece if I stitch it up. But look up what a price of front plastics are. The rear plastics and the seat and all that stuff look to be in real good shape. I don't think it saw many hours before the electrical system issue parked it, and then once it was parked, it just stayed parked. So we'll get it fixed up and running. This is a 2008. Let's see if we can get it to zoom in. Yep, made in January 2008. All right, so I think I can take these two bolts out, and I might be able to take the tank out without having to take all the plastic off, because I started looking at it, and not only do I have to take or not only would I take all the plastics off, in order to get the plastics off, you have to take the handlebars off. In order to take the handlebars off, you have to disconnect everything. So I think for right now, I'm just gonna break these loose and see if that works. I have to take them out one way or the other, so. There's one. grommet in here, bushing for the steering shaft is gone. It's deteriorated. It's really common. I've got a whole video on replacing those, but I'll try to link it here. But I'll have to replace that on this one, so I'll probably add a clip or two about me removing that disassembly and putting the new bushing in there. All right. See if we can get the tank to slide out. I think this is going to be in the way, but I'm going to try anyway. It looks like there's these two screws right here on the both sides that are holding it down. I'm going to take those out and see if it won't let me lift it up. Those are 10mm on the back and Phillips on the front. There's a washer on the back of those. I thought it might have just been one side, like just the front one, but front and back fender washer. Fender bolt have a washer. It goes on the back side like that. Still can't get it completely out. There's two more Phillips head screws down there. I'm gonna have to take those out. So they're both out. Now there really shouldn't be anything left holding it in. joke right there. Whew. Lock washer and a nylon lock nut. Looks like Loctite maybe, or corrosion. Whew. And now this will come off. All this trouble, I might as well go ahead and replace the plastics. Let's see. Oh, the smell of this is horrible. Woo! Pull these fuel lines off. It's got one for reserve and one for on. These are the special flared fuel lines where they attach to the tank, so if yours are like mine and they won't come off real easy, you can get underneath the edge with a flat screwdriver, because if you pull them and they rip, it's not just a standard barb. They're like flared out at the end. They're wider at this end than they are at that end. So a standard hose won't fit. So don't yank on them real hard, especially if they've been sitting like this one has. Just use your Phillips or your flathead screwdriver and get underneath there and push. And it'll break loose a lot easier than if you were pulling on it. And then once you broke that surface tension, it'll slide off. Oh, look at that good stuff that's in there. Look at that. Look at that goodness. So that's probably your reserve, and that's your on. And the reserve always gets the trash in it from the bottom of the tank. That's why it wouldn't drain that fuel out, because that thing was so clogged up. Some old two-stroke gas, it's got a little bit of oil in it. Oh yeah, there's chunks of rust and all kinds of stuff flying out of there. Probably just wash it out with some apple cider vinegar or some acid and then line it, because it looks pretty nasty. Alright, I'm gonna stop wasting gasoline on this thing. It's gotta get washed out.